G'day everyone, I'm Darcy Vescio and I'm thrilled to be speaking with you today. I'm here to have just a little 5-minute chat. Welcome to my room, first and foremost, and thank you for keeping me company. I hope you're doing something fun right now, or perhaps something mundane like cleaning windows. In that case, hopefully I don't make you laugh and lose focus, because nobody likes a streaky window. Anyway, I'm a graphic designer by day and a footballer at night, except for when we have Arvo games, but I do prefer night games. I grew up in a small Victorian country town called Markwood, smack bang in between Wangaratta and Myrtleford. If I was doing this talk with you in person, I'd ask if anyone's been to Markwood. I'd scan the room desperately, searching for that one person. And I'd be met with silence. It's a really great way to build that energy within the room. From as young as I can remember, I've always had a footy in my hand. I'd kick the ball for hours in the backyard with my brothers and often by myself, launching the ball as high as I could and marking it with outstretched arms. I love the game of football. Chasing a footy is like hunting a rabbit. I don't hunt, but I think I've got a good imagination. It bounces around from side to side and you try to predict its next move before pouncing on it. I've given you a bit of a snapshot of my childhood right there, and probably a bit of an insight into why I'm part of AFLW too. Anyway, Markwood is a teeny tiny town. There's not much there, and it's pretty much a deserted town hall with 3 overgrown tennis courts, my old primary school, which is shut down now. But by far the best thing there is my family home, and I love getting back there to see fam. I didn't really get to see much family last year. The past year has been quite different, I guess, for everyone. Yep, I'm talking about old mate pandemic. At first it was a bit like, oh, that's something happening overseas. Who ate that bat? Bad decision. But then it was like, oh yeah, it's here, but we're all good, right? And then it was like, football season's cancelled. I can't visit my nonna, and I'm locked inside indefinitely. There's been a lot of time for Netflix, chill, and deep life reflection. A lot of time for overthinking, ordering Uber Eats, and sleeping, and answering that same question from Netflix. Are you still watching? Yes, of course I am. You are my only friend. 2020 showed us that literally anything can happen, anytime, without our written permission, and we're forced to adjust, change our behaviours, and adapt to what the world needs from us. This saying is used a lot, and I can't actually remember how it goes or the exact words, but things always get thrown at us, and what matters is how we choose to respond. If there's one thing that stuck out for me, and I think many of us, it wasn't the uncertainty that got to me, but the loss of connection with people around me during 2020. I use the socials a fair bit, and my screen time definitely blew out. But I found that even though I was spending a lot of time online around people, it wasn't the connection I needed day to day. I love socials and the conversations they start. You know, I love a Twitter little feed, but I found that there's really no substitute for a chat with a mate. It was the footy trainings, coffee rituals, and incidental chatter that I was missing. These were the things that truly mattered to me. What does connection mean to you? For all of us, connection can mean so many different things, and we all get something different from it. For me, who we connect with and how we connect is so important to understand. I found Zoom was nice, but I got a lot more out of a phone call. I loved hearing Mum's voice as she rattled around the kitchen, or calling my dad and then he'd put the dog on the phone. Not the best conversation. The natural rhythm of conversation seems to be stalled over Zoom, where you can't look away and think, or there are notifications popping up. All of a sudden, COVID put us in a position where we had to be intentional about connection. You couldn't catch up or have a chat in the lunchroom at work. If you wanted to see someone, you had to book it in. I was part of the Melbourne lockdown, so when things started to ease, you had to think about who was going to be your only visitor to the house for the day, or, who your top 5 friends were. It was a little bit like MySpace, if you're old enough to remember MySpace. As well as thinking about how I connect with people, I like to think about how I feel around people. Most of us spend time with people who are like-minded, creating a sense of community. For me, I have a football team of women who I share my ideas and thoughts with regularly. People who make me feel inspired and uplifted. I want to ask you, who are the people in your life who you walk away from feeling warm and supported? I like to think about the people who I don't need to be doing much with. For example, we can just hang out and drink a coffee, but the conversation is energizing. They're the people I need to spend time with. They're the ones. And I'd urge you to take note of the people in your own lives who and how you feel when you're around them. It can be really helpful, like building your own footy team around you. Anyway, we can probably all agree that pandemics are plain awful, and it's certainly not over. But there's one good thing. If there's one good thing you can take out of this 5-minute chat, it's that you survived. Everything that's been thrown at you so far, you have survived. Sometimes I use this theory when I'm doing a hard running session for footy. I'm gasping for air, struggling to put one foot in front of the other. And I ask myself, just as I want to give up, when was the last time you died during a running session? And just like that, I know I've got to get it done. And more so, I know I'm capable. Obviously, there are so many unknowns and uncertain times right now. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. But I hope you can remember your ability to adjust and keep going up until this moment is something you should feel really proud of. Keep building your team and take notice of which people and which connections make you feel at your best. Good luck for 2021. You've got this.